I mean, I like onions. Brett doesn't care for onions in his food, so, but I can get away with using the green tops because they taste like onion, and I can just tell him that it's an herb. Chives. So today I'm going to start my seeds for my greenhouse. Normally I plan so that I can plant my greenhouse the first or second week of March, and when I do that, then I have to really pay attention to the weather and go out every night and cover everything up with plastic and turn on heat lamps because my greenhouse is not heated. It can cost a fortune to heat your greenhouse. So this year I'm going to plant a little bit later, and you know, I don't think there'll be a problem with that. I just don't want to mess with the plastic on and off every day this year. I have so much going on. I just don't think I can take another project. So I always use this Miracle Grow Organics to start the seeds in, and actually, I'm not planting a huge variety in the greenhouse this year because I had so much okra last year that I still have a ton in my freezer. So this year I'm going to plant some okra inside because this year, instead of freezing it, I'm planning to pickle it. We love pickled okra, and so I'm going to do that. Jalapenos, I'm going to plant more jalapenos this year. Of course, these are the tomatoes that I plant and love them. They're not the best to slice and eat. They're kind of mushy, we have found, but boy, they make the best tomato sauce. So I'm gonna get some more tomato sauce in my freezer, and of course cucumbers. Well, I planted my seeds on March the 8th. This is my setup. I have a towel draped over a couple of old drawers that I had. That's just to kind of raise them up off the floor, because on March the 8th, my floors were so cold still. We were having a really cold snap, and I'm on a pier and beam house, and so the floor was really cold, so I wanted to elevate them off the ground a little bit. And I just wanted to show how I have my grow light above them and a heating pad underneath them. So the heating pad is just on for about 10 hours a day on low, and I have it on a plug-in timer so that it comes on at like 7 in the morning and goes off, 10 hours later every day. So I don't have to remember to turn it on and off. This is a tray of seeds that I planted a little bit later, and so they have just sprouted, and I have a couple of big thick books underneath them to get them up as close to the light as I can. They don't get really spindly and tall because they're trying to search for light. And as they grow, I will lower them, and then they'll just take off. Now these are the plants exactly 1 month later, and I do have the lights on, and you can see kind of the growth that I have so far. I am in the greenhouse trying to get things ready, so I'm going to amend the soil in all of these tubs, which means I'm going to add some composted manure and compost, kind of mix it in. The soil in these tubs stayed pretty loose. It usually does because a lot of it is container potting soil. If you remember, I use the Miracle Grow Organics container soil, so that just helps keep things really loose. I really liked that. And so like right now I'm amending the soil. I'm going to show you how over the winter how messy the greenhouse gets. I'll be cleaning it up. Mostly it just involves sweeping. There's a lot of leaf debris in here. I don't like that kind of mess. I like my greenhouse to be clean. So I'm adding this bag of composted, let's see, no, it's compost and manure. I'm doing a half a bag for each tub. This tub over here had onions in it all winter, and that last sub-zero temperature we had killed my onions, so I'm going to dig them up because tomatoes are going to go there now. So the way that I do these green onions is I buy, you know, when and if I need green onions, I just buy them in the store, organic green onions. I only use the green tops off of them because we don't, I mean, I like onions. Brett doesn't care for onions in his food, so, but I can get away with using the green tops because they taste like onion, and I can just tell him that it's an herb, chives. And so after I've used the greens off of them, I plant them, and then I have the green top just keeps growing repeatedly. Every time you cut it, it just keeps regrowing. So I can use that almost year round until, like right now, when it's springtime and I'm ready to plant again. So I actually have some green onions in the house that I'm going to do that with. I just used the greens off of them. All of my tubs are spoken for with other things besides onions, but I think I'm going to plant the onions around the base of my trees this year and utilize that dirt in that space, and I think that they'll grow. I don't know why they wouldn't. I'm going to give it a try. I think it'll work out well. I've been thinking about planting things below the trees anyway, you know, even flowers. So we'll see. I'm going to try it because I just like the idea. And see, they never really make an onion like an onion that you would cook with. They just make really big green onion bulbs. So I don't ever use this part. I love just being able to come out here and cut the greens off. Love it, love it, love it. Now I'll go through all of these tubs and just kind of turn the dirt over and work all that compost and manure in. Oops, there's an onion. Okay. And that'll have it ready for planting here. In a couple of weeks I'll be planting. This dirt is nice and loose anyway in these tubs, and so you just have to basically stir it around.